Hi, loves. Welcome to a new episode of AW Confidential. We all have our definition of greatness someone who sets themselves apart by being extremely good at something. For others, it may mean living a life that is truly authentic and aligns with their goals and values. Whatever your definition is, it is evident that we place high value on reaching greatness status. It's one of the biggest reasons we love watching the Olympic Games, the Super Bowl, World Series, Stanley Cup, NBA championships, Masters, US Open, World Cup, and so many other competitions. We want to see the best. We want to feel inspired and believe that anything is possible. And I get really emotional when I even talk about this.
Mhm.
Diana Flores fell in love with flag football at the age of 8. She says that she never imagined everything she is living could be a possibility for her. In 2022, the captain of Mexico's women's flag football team led her peers to gold at the World Games. She is a flag football ambassador for the NFL. She was featured in Forbes 30 Under 30 in sports as one of the most influential people in sports. She is a recipient of a Clio Impact Award. Most recently, she joined Under Armour's athlete roster as a global ambassador. And just most recently, she was recognized by the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Wow. And these are only a few of the highlights because there is just so much going on with Diana. Diana defines greatness on and off the field. And we are incredibly honored to have her with us on this episode. Diana, congratulations. I get so emotional. I mean, my gosh, you're amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm happy to be here with you and just feeling blessed to have the opportunity to connect with amazing people and being able to spread a message of unity, a message of possibilities. So thank you for having me here.
Thank you. I wanted to label this episode as an episode of greatness. And you've had some incredible wins. You are living and thriving in greatness. But what does that word mean to you? Because it's something different for everyone.
Yes, and I love the approach you gave about greatness at the beginning, because you're right. Like, greatness means different things for every one of us. And I feel that even for every person, it has been like that for me. It is a process of evolution. I mean, when I was a little kid, greatness for me was to be the best on the field. Then greatness for me was to represent my country at the highest level in the world, then win a gold medal for my country. And at one point, I realized or I understood that everything we do, each one of us, has a bigger impact than ourselves. I mean, everything we do can have a big impact on the people around us, or pretty much only on our journey or other people's journeys. So greatness for me evolved pretty much to be able to contribute to a movement of change, to be able to impact many other people's, to just put my seed of inspiration or motivation for many other big stories that are coming ahead. So that's what greatness is for me right now. And I feel that when you find your definition of greatness, it makes everything a little bit easier because it helps you to connect with your purpose and just it is easier to focus on that purpose and to focus on your why and leave that why led your actions. So I feel that's that's the thing or the important thing about um finding our definition of greatness and finding our purpose.
And I'm glad you said that because we can all make a contribution whether we know it or not. Now, you started playing very early. I mean, 8 years old. You were a baby. You're still
Yes.
a baby. But, you know, when did you first tap into your gift? And you have so many gifts. I mean, you're an inspiration, you're a motivator, you're an incredible athlete. Do you remember when everything changed for you? Because I think there's that moment, right? That spark. When was that for you?
Wow, that's an amazing question because as I said, I feel that it has been a process for me. I mean, when I started when I was young, everything was all about having fun. I just loved to be on the field, loved to learn. It was a passion that I shared with my dad, with my family, and that kept us connected with each other. So it was all about that, all about having fun, and all about developing myself and winning a place on the field. I started playing with older girls, so it was a little bit of a challenge for me, being the youngest player on the field. Then I feel that when I started realizing how the sport was giving me the opportunity to not only challenge myself, but also to prove myself, not only to others, but to me, and has one was giving me the opportunity to, um, I don't know, getting to know myself better in a deeper way. That's when I knew that this was more than a passion, that this was something bigger, because it also was giving me the opportunity to connect with other people in a deeper way by the same love, but this by the same passion. And this love and this passion was breaking so many barriers, gender barriers, cultural barriers. When I was 14, I started playing with a team of boys because it was the only way I could keep playing. I was the only girl in an all boys team in an all boys league. Then I started traveling to the US at the age of 14 again, playing with girls my age my first time, but being the only Latina girl in the entire league. So I started to realize, uh, one, that the sport was something powerful, that it was giving me a lot of opportunities, but second, that many things needed to change, that it was not possible for me being the only girl or the only Latina. And I didn't understand at that point in time, like, why is this happening? So I feel that moment in time was when I found my first, like, purpose, when I realized that sport was something bigger than myself.
Mm.
Then at the age of 16, when I started representing my country, and I started to see the impact that had on me, many other young girls that were feeling represented by me, or that were feeling identified with me. um Again, I realized that it was something way bigger than me playing on the field, and me representing my country or winning championships. I was doing something that has the power to unite people and break any kind of barriers out there.
And that's why you won the Impact Award. So you have medals, awards, and many accolades in recognition of your talents on the field, but you're also making strides off the field, which is one of the things that impacted me the most. You've talked about how you want to empower women in sports, and you you have been really outspoken about issues that you have faced while rising the ranks and elevating, and I think that has elevated you to even a greater level of greatness. Truly. So why is it so important for you to break barriers in your industry?
Wow. I feel that two things. I already said that sport has the power of breaking many barriers, but also representation has the power of changing lives. And I know that by fact because it has changed my life completely. Um, when I started playing this sport as a little girl, as a little Mexican girl who fell in love with a very, very American sport, a sport that was seemed to be a sport for men, I didn't had a lot of role models to follow. No one that looked like me, not a woman in my field, at the biggest stages, and not a woman that looked like me, a
And
Latina
a quarterback, by the way.
and a quarterback, right? So I grew up, of course, watching the NFL, learning from all these amazing players, but feeling almost like an intruder in a world that I didn't belong at. And that's a feeling I think that no one deserves to feel, because we deserve to feel that we belong. Like, no matter what's your passion, no matter what you're doing, no matter what your dream is, you deserve to feel that you belong and that you deserve to dream big. So for me, that's one of the most important things right now, and I feel so blessed and grateful to be able to be part of this movement of change, to remind the world in the biggest stages, um, first, the power of sport, second, to empower women, and to empower women through a message of unity, to remind us, especially to my fellow Latino community, that we deserve to dream big, that those things, even if we don't see them too often, which I think it is still a thing we have to keep working on hard and harder than ever, um, that those amazing things are for us too. And I feel that this greatness we are talking about, it starts in the mind. It starts by believing you belong, by believing that you have many possibilities ahead of you. And we have heard so many times, um, if you can see it, you can be it, right? And I truly believe that's a reality. Um, so when you start seeing things that probably for you were not even a possibility, I totally, and you just said that when I was little, I didn't, this was not my dream. And not because I didn't want it to, but I didn't even think about it as a possibility for a Mexican girl like me. So right
Yeah.
now, to remind all these little future leaders out there that they can dream bigger than ever, that they belong, that this is a possibility for them, is just a game changer. So that's the true sport. I mean, that's the true power of sport. That's the true power of what we're doing.
And you mentioned the younger generation, and I can't let you go without asking you, you are a powerful Latina, a woman in sports, and in a sport that it's flag football. And I just want to know, what would you like your legacy to be? And you have so much more to go. And I know it's hard to think about what legacy you'd like to leave behind. But as you think right now in this moment, what would you like your legacy to be for all those little ones that are just beginning to watch you on television?
Wow. I just would like all these little girls and women out there to remember that we are powerful, that we are strong, that we are smart, that we're resilient, and that we are capable to do anything we dream of, that we're never alone, because I feel so blessed, that I have had amazing people around me that have helped me to be where I am today and to be who I am today too. So that no matter how hard our goals are, or no matter how lonely we may feel sometimes, because that's life, you're never alone. You will always find someone willing to give you a hand. And also, whenever you can, be that person for someone else. And just remember, greatness starts in your mind. And if you really stay if you stay true to who you are, if you stay true to your passions, to what makes you feel happy, and you prepare for when the moment knocks your door, I promise you life can be surprising and be even bigger and brighter and better than your wildest dreams.
I love that. So, one of the things that I always ask our guests before we let them go is we like to end interviews with a quote, a mantra, or a piece of advice for the community. And I want to go back to that quote that you said because honestly, when I read it and I get, I don't know, I connected with what you said. You said that you fell in love with the sport at 8 and you never imagined that all this was a possibility for you. So, for all those adults, because there are adults out there who are struggling with their own dreams, and children that are feeling like you once did about their dreams, what advice can you share to encourage them to keep going and to seek their greatness?
Hmm. Live your own journey, like first
Mm.
and ever. Live your own journey. Do what makes you happy. If it makes your heart beat, if it makes you excited, then you know you're doing the right thing. No matter if you don't know, like, how long is the future ahead or how many doors are ahead of you, you never know. There's always a better door in front of you. No matter if you're going through a hard situation right now, or if you're not seeing the results you wish you had right now, that doesn't matter. That will not work for you. Maybe one step, two, 10, or 20 steps ahead. But what matters is staying focused on your own journey, staying focused on yourself, and staying true to what makes you happy. That will always just light up an amazing sparkle on you, and that sparkle will also shine to the people around you, you know, and makes you a better person and makes better persons to the people that are around you. And I feel that's when magic happens. That synergy can break anything.
Absolutely. And I just want to add to that beautiful statement that, we live in a society where we're always looking for immediate gratification. And there's a quote, and I can't remember the exact quote, but it says, greatness takes time. This is a process, right? And we have to continue to cultivate, to nurture that greatness inside of us. And you're right. We'll see magic happen, but magic happens when the work comes behind it. So thank you so much for being here, for being an inspiration, not just to the children, but to us adults that, we're seeking that greatness within us. Can you please share with our community how they can learn more about you?
Yes, sure. So I am in Instagram as Diana Flores 33, Flores without the O. So I could be more than happy to just keep growing the community there. I am in TikTok with the same username. Yes, happy to stay connected and just keep growing the community and growing our dreams together.
Well, thank you for motivating us and thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Congratulations on everything.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Hope to see you soon again.
Absolutely. And thank you, loves, for joining us on this great episode of AW Confidential. Talk to you soon.